Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video to the channel. Welcome to Monday and welcome to the Dungeoneering Remastered update. So in this video, we're going to go over a few things only for this update. The actual gameplay and going into the dungeon, we'll either try and tie it into the end of this video if it's not too long, or I'll do a video doing a couple of floors to show you guys what it's like and how it's been balanced out as well. Because with this update, they have done a massive overhaul in terms of remastering the skill and making a lot of changes to Dungeoneering. Now, Dungeoneering has been in the game just over 16 years now, and it hasn't really had an update to its scale to adjust and change things with the growing different things happening in the game. So to start with, what they've done is remove the Dungeoneering wildcards and also the Garajo wildcards as well. Now, they have refunded you for this 5,000 Dungeoneering tokens for a solo Garajo card and 15,000 tokens for a team card. Not only that as well, they have reset your Ring of Kingship and refunded you all the tokens you would have invested to upgrade that Ring of Kingship. So once you first log in, you're going to get some chat messages, kind of like this, and a big refund of your Dungeoneering tokens. So for me, with my cards, with my Ring of Kingship, I've been refunded 482,000 tokens. Not only that as well, the reward trader has had a bit of an overhaul, both in the interface and also the shop as well. Now, in terms of the shop, there have been some items which have changed in price. The Charming Imp is now 50,000 tokens, but we're going to go on the homepage to go through the whole patch notes because I think that's a really important place to start because there's so many things which have been released, which I think is a lot better to cover first, and then we'll go and have a look at the gameplay of Dungeoneering afterwards. But in terms of this, we now have the interface for the shop breaking down into utilities, unlocks, equipment, cosmetic, and miscellaneous. In terms of the big things which have come to the shop, we have the Dungeoneering necklaces in the form of the Occultist Undead necklace and the Revival necklace as well. Now, for the Revival necklace for the tier 81, you're going to go and have to go and get the Hum from Ziliana in God Wars Dungeon 1. But could actually be a little bit of profit if you're looking to go and camp a God Wars Dungeon 1 boss for a pretty AFK GP. Not only that as well, we have the Chaotic Grimoire, which is a 7% chance to give you a critical strike chance, as well as the Torn Chaotic Pages, which seem quite affordable at around 5,000 Dungeoneering tokens. Now, if you're wondering why my tokens look a little bit off, I have the full Dungeoneering skilling outfit, as well as the Demonheim Achievement Diary, so that is why I have a discount on the store. Not only that as well, we have the Dungeoneering dual wield weapons for Chaotix, the Gravite Guard and Gravite Lantern, and we also have a Chaotic Guard and Chaotic Lanterns. So Dungeoneering weapons come into the Dungeoneering store, which is nice to see, and not only that as well, the Ruminous weapons. This is where you're going to go and have to go and get one of the warp stones from the warp floor or from the Grand Exchange. I imagine these will be very expensive for the first couple of weeks, but this is going to give you a weapon with a 12% passive for extra damage on creatures of Demonheim, which are out of Demonheim as well. So if you're someone who's still hunting a Hex Hunter bow, you do Seekers, Edemus, any of those sort of Dungeoneering monsters outside Demonheim, these could be some incredible weapons for you guys to have. Now, that is pretty much going to wrap up what we're going to look at in game. I wanted to let you guys know about the refund as well as the Dungeoneering shop. The patch notes is quite extensive, so I thought what we'd do is just go through this first, and then a little bit later on we can go and have a look at some of the gameplay and how the dungeons are looking. So, in terms of the general stuff, they've updated the lighting, added virtual effects, updated the floors and textures across all of Demonheim. Again, we mentioned this on Thursday. The look of the floors look a lot better. There are now skill doors for archaeology and invention, which is really nice. They've updated the celestial robes. They've added examines for a variety of furniture inside Demonheim, castle and Dungeoneering floors. More tutorials to various interfaces, which can be replayed through the info button on each interface. So party, complexity, floor select, bound setup and smuggler's storage. They've done some balancing as well, so they've rebalanced floor experience. The intention here is to make all floors worth doing at all levels, while still feeling a sense of progression, going from frozen floors to warp floors. Base experience is now calculated from the floor combined with your Dungeoneering level, and this is then affected by the modifiers visible at the end of the floor to a maximum of 700%. So for Dungeoneering size, the minimum boost is now 50% all the way up to 850, and as you can see, the bigger the floor, the more bonus you're going to get. If anything, it makes medium floors a very valid way to go and rush through those lower level ones as well. The difficulty, the minimum boost is minus 15 all the way up to 20%. Bonus rooms are now capped at 10%, and mobs killed can affect between a minus 10 to a 10%. Complexity is a minus 50 for a lower complexity, and the higher complexity is going to give you 0. So now, rather than having 1-6, you have low and high, which again is a nice way to sort of streamline it a little bit as well. The floor boost is from 0 to 120, so complete unique floors and gain this entry boost every 5 floors completed. And then death update before Monday was minus 24%, and now it's 0. So the max a death can cap out at is 4 per floor. 4 per floor is going to give you the minus 24%. Every death is going to be a 6%. So once you complete the last of the theme floors, so the last frozen floor is floor 11, you will get 15,000 tokens. And it's a really good way, especially up to like level 60, to give you a big boost in your tokens as well, especially with some of the rewards which have been brought down in price a little bit, which is really, really nice. Dungeoneering tokens to chests with Dungeoneering, so various different ones have got one. Again, nothing massive, but still it's a nice little bump up as well. You now get 10% Dungeoneering experience for every sort of unlocking of a skill door and performing actions in Dungeoneering, which is nice because you're going to be getting multiple ways of getting XP. And then they've also adjusted some Dungeoneering token costs for the items along with the rewards as well. Generally for this case, they have brought the requirements to use this in terms of Dungeoneering down, and some of them have had costs reduced and some have had them slightly increased. So the big one here is that the Herbicide used to cost 34,000 tokens is now 50,000. The Charming Imp, which was a big one at 100,000, has now come down to 50. And like Herbicide, Bone Crusher has gone up in price from 34 to 50,000, which again, the tokens which you're going to save by having the Charming Imp cheaper, you can spend on the Herbicide and the Bone Crusher, and you'll have more tokens spare from it as well. So overall, it is a good thing and it is nice. In terms of some of the weapons for Chaotix, these are now downgraded from level 80 to level 70. And this might be as well because you're going to get a lot more of the tokens. The main hand is going to be 150,000, the offhand is going to be 50,000. I think this used to be 100 each, but it's nice that they've looked and changed that as well. The potion recipes, which is quite a spenny way to go and get them, normally you just do the Dungeoneering, have been reduced to 100,000, and with the rate of which the tokens are being given to you, it's actually maybe worthwhile looking at doing that as well. So what they've also done is remove the Scroll of Demonheim. This has been refunded with 30,000 Dungeoneering tokens. Removing Guide Mode, removed Share XP. Removed the Party Simulators, removed the Garaggio cards and Wild cards as well. They've increased the life points of mobs in Dungeoneering. They've increased the life bosses in Dungeoneering, and they've also rebalanced the cost of a Ring of Kinship. So the Ring of Kinship costs are here, but again, it's going to be a lot lower. Now, the real big thing with this update is the quality of life. The quality of life is what's going to make this update transformational, in my opinion. You will no longer have to bang before entering a dungeon. Added icons to the Dungeoneering map for certain features, skill doors, key doors, and gate stones when dropped. So being able to see this in where gate stones are, and also where the skill doors are and where everything is on the map, is going to be so much better for group Dungeoneering. You'll be able to have a full visual aspect of everything which is happening in the dungeon, which is absolutely massive. Iron Men can now Dungeoneer with non-Iron Men, which I think is absolutely huge. A lot of my friends now play Iron Men. So to have the ability to go and do something like Dungeoneering with them, helping them, and also having some people of a higher level as well in terms of some of the high level Iron Men, being able to Dungeoneer is really, really nice. Competitive group Iron Man is still restricted, which I think is right. The people who've now found the key or have used the key now show in the keys color as well, which again is just a nice little thing. Unlocking a key door or a skill door in Dungeoneering will now automatically discover the adjacent room, which saves a little bit of time. And with Dungeoneering, you know that all the little times will be massive. They've removed complexity 2 to 5, which we've mentioned before. Keys in Dungeoneering now displays an icon representing this key on the map. Adjusted skill door requirements. Now, they've removed the ability of you need certain skills to do certain things. So everyone can open the door. It's the success rate, which now sort of differs on it as well. So it's a little bit similar to how they've done the Thieving update. They've removed damage from failing skill doors, which is nice. The recipe potions include a loot beam, so they're a bit more easy to go and spot on the map. They've brightened the potion shelves. A lot and lot of like little quality of life things, which can be so beneficial. And I really think that if you've got some time to go and read through all these, you'll be able to see this. But every little line in this sort of like text is going to be beneficial to Dungeoneering as a whole, because it's really nice. So in Dungeoneering, there's 23 puzzle rooms. These have all had various changes to make the process of doing the puzzles smoother and easier. And this level of thought into this update is quite beyond what I thought it would be. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago when he mentioned like remastering Dungeoneering was going to come, that it could really be a hot mess if it wasn't done correctly. But the level of detail, the level of thought process into this as well is massive. I would highly recommend you guys to go and check this out, because if I was to go through all this, it'd be a 20 to 25 minute video. You guys don't want me to do that. Just want to be a bit of an overview, a bit of a look into it. Now, bosses. Now, some of these bosses in the game, Blink, for an example, was incredibly hard for no reason, but the rest were very underpowered. Now, they've already mentioned that it improved the sort of HP rates of all the bosses, but Blink, so they've reduced his magic attack from 50 to 75% of life points down to 25 to 50, which is nice. They've reduced the damage of a run cloud attack from 20 to 50 to 10 to 30. An animation will now play behind the portal blink is just about to come out of as well. So it's going to make it nice. It's still going to have its mechanics, but I've just made it a little bit easier than what we thought. The user interface had a bit of a look as well. They've added tooltips to the entrance interface to explain when certain floor sizes are disabled. Remove the decline forever button from party interface. Move the floor overlay down so it no longer overlaps. Updates various colors for the party interface. Updated the complexity interface and updated the floor select. Necromancy. So Necromancy is now here. And really, the most important thing you want about Necromancy is where do you get the tier 11 equipment? So the arm guard is going to come from the Unholy Curse Bearer. The lantern is going to come from the Skeletal Horde. The boots are going to come from Plain Freezer Laharans. The gloves from the Hobgoblin. Hood is Grave Reaper. Robe bottom, Shadow Forger. And then finally, the robe top is going to be from the Wild Gorger. The Forgotten Necromancers are now in Dungeoneering as well. The Necrolord boss now uses Necromancy. Necromancy now has a tier in the Ring of Kinship. And there's plenty of other things in there as well. We have bind and storage system. So this is going to affect what you can store in terms of the smuggler's storage, but for what level is when you can get more storage. So level 10 you can get 6 slots, level 40 you can get 9, 80 you can get 12, and then finally at 110 you can have all 15. So the prestige system is now gone. It's replaced with a floor buff system. And all of these different things are going to benefit for it. So basically, by the look of it, you can go and pick whatever floor you want and you don't have to be prestige for it. So that is really, really nice to be able to do that. You're no longer, by the sound of it, going to have to do your rushes, but if you want to go and do those lower level floors, because you've got the buff in terms of XP, you're going to get some decent XP from it as well, which is really, really nice actually. So that is a nice big point. Rewards, a really big reward here actually is going to be the fact that the following pets are now companions. So the Edamu pet, which I have, which is really nice because I think the Edamu pet is a really different one. It's really good as well. Mini Blink, Hope Nibbler, Frosty, and the Sneaker Peeker. We have the new rewards, which we've mentioned as well as some of the changes in the store. Here is where you can get the kind of prices for it. So the Ferret Pet is going to cost 750,000 coins and 100,000 DG tokens for every one of the skins. And the Warp Stone is what we want in terms of the Warp Floor as well, because that's going to be a big, big thing. However, that is going to wrap what is absolutely a massive, massive update for this as well. What I'm probably going to do is go and do a couple of floors, have a bit of a play on the Warp Floors as well, and let you guys know in a video later on how it is and what I think to it as well. I think this is going to be one of the biggest remastered or quality of life or kind of like patch fixes of the year. I think Dungeoneering has been needing something like this for the longest time, and now it's finally got it. It's going to be massive. So make sure to go and do some DGs, grab your friends, do some DG, and really, really enjoy the process as well. I'll let you guys know what's going to go on in terms of how I find it and stuff a little bit later on. But Hugger is going to go and finally do his DG once he's finished cleaning up after double XP. Those videos are coming out at some point this week. And that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think about this update in the comments down below. I didn't want to throw a little bit of a Dungeoneering sort of run through because I think the video would be a bit too long, but I'll do that a little bit later on for you guys to go check out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.